The government is confident the signed 2026 national budget will help the economy regain the momentum it lost in the past year due to the corruption scandal. The government on Monday revised its growth target for this year to 5 to 6% from the 6 to 7% goal previously. It now expects full-year growth for 2025 at 4.8 to 5%. Well, with us now for more is Undersecretary for Planning and Policy at the Department of Economy, Planning and Development, Rosemarie Edillon. Happy New Year, Usec Rose. Welcome back to the program.
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Kathy, and Happy New Year to you too.
All right, so first off, how is DEPDev weighing in on the peso's recent record drop? I mean, we've seen the peso recover a tad at the open, but how does a weakening peso shift or even influence or anchor the government's recalibration and recovery strategy?
Yeah, actually, for the whole year, we do expect some, some sideway movement of the peso. So as you know, it really depends on what's happening in the U.S. as well, and versus what's happening with our country. I think right now, with the recent move of the U.S., everybody's still, weighing in, is this a good or a bad thing? And that is why we're seeing some sideways movement. And I think we'll have to, others will still adopt a wait and see attitude over the next few days.
Well, it's certainly going to need a lot of close coordination amongst agencies. How closely is DEPDev coordinating monetary and fiscal policy with finance, budget, the Bangko Sentral, so that the easier rates plus that big budget push don't reignite inflation or destabilize the peso?
Yeah, so as you know, we have the Development Budget Coordination Committee. So that's a committee of the Economy and Development Council, and the Bangko Sentral actually sits as a resource person. So every time we meet, we have a Bangko Sentral official with us, either the governor or the deputy governor, so we can have this, as you would say, a close coordination. So at the very least, the monetary board is aware of what the executive is doing, that what government is doing, and so. Although we have an independent monetary policy, but at least they are aware of what we're doing, and this is the path that we're going to we're proceeding. And as well, both of us, in the case of the Bangko Sentral, of course, their main goal is really financial stability. But in the case of us at the executive, we also want this financial and price stability. Because we want to be able to sustain growth, and we also want inclusive growth.
Yes, in fact, SEC RC made a mention of supply-side interventions that you're intending to pursue to ensure low inflation continues to support real incomes as well as domestic demand this year. So exactly what sort of interventions might those be?
Yes, we will continue our strategy of adopting this very anticipatory forecasting. So as you know, we faced this problem of high inflation, in particular the food inflation back in 2023, and so the what we call the IAC-IMO, the Interagency Committee on Inflation and Market Outlook, was created in late 2023, and then it's a very technical working group, and the idea is we need to be able to forecast. We need to be able to anticipate what the demand would be, what the supply would be, and make the timely measures. So we will continue on this, and even the non-food inflation is also responding very well with the measures that have been done. So as you know, many of the non-food inflation sources are actually beyond our control, like oil. But the good thing is our demand side interventions seem to be working. So we, at the same time that we are also having this supply side interventions via, more of the renewable energies. So many of them have gone online towards the end of 2025, but many more will be coming online this year, and that will actually give us ample energy supply, and of course our move to encourage more of the electric vehicles is also is also working in our favor so that we reduce our dependence on oil. Now, with respect to the food supply, of course, especially for this 2026, there's a huge allocation for the Department of Agriculture, so mainly to boost agricultural productivity, to reduce post-harvest losses, improve storage, and also the logistics. At the same time that there is this targeted intervention for the low-income group so that they can avail of this low-priced rice.
There is this renewed focus on inclusivity in the development agenda this year and beyond, Usec Rose. But how exactly will this year's growth outlook become more inclusive, coming from last year's infraspend delays caused by the corruption investigations?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, for this year, as already mentioned by the president, there's five priority areas. So you have education, health, social protection, food security, and then job creation. Now, especially on education, health, actually for all of this, no, especially education, health, and the job creation, this is actually an investment for the future. And we see that not only will it bring inclusive growth, but also sustained economic growth. It will increase our capacity to grow. Even as we are actually putting in all those other interventions to improve governance, to improve infrastructure planning. Yes, we know that the budget for infrastructure has been reduced, but this also gives us the time, or kind of like the respite, no, to go over all those infrastructure plans, update them, put them in place as necessary.
In the end, Usec Rose, people want to know if there's still a job waiting for them when they wake up, outside the seasonalities and outside the catch-up that the government has to do. Can we say for sure that there will not be any job losses during the first two quarters that SEC-RC said we'd have to wait before the catch-up starts to take effect?
Well, even as we're waiting for that catch-up to take effect, we do have this huge, significant, I would say, growth driver, which is our hosting of the ASEAN meetings, and this will require a lot of manpower, a lot of both in the public and the private sector. So I think right away we can mobilize. We will be able to mobilize, create many jobs related to the hosting of the ASEAN meeting. So you're talking also about transport, hotel, restaurant accommodation, and of course the conventions.
All right, a lot more work to do, but thank you so much for laying out the strategy. Usec Rose Edillon of the DEPDev.